TVs with Tay. TV with Tay. Hey, it's TVs with Tay. It's TV with Tay. Hey, it's TV shows with Tay. It's TV shows with Tay. It's TV shows with Tay. Hey, it's TV shows with Tay. Pow, pow, it's TV shows with Tay. How y'all doing? How are y'all doing? Welcome to Real Talk with Tay. And sorry if I sound like I'm under the weather. My voice has been going in and out, and I can't stop it at all. But how have y'all been doing? I hope y'all been enjoying these TV shows with Tay. I've been enjoying doing them. They've been kind of short, but they've also been kind of cool. There's no real formula to it. We just get into the shows and we talk about characters. We talk about episodes. We talk about the show, and we just kind of like go with the flow over here. Excuse me. Pardon me. But yeah, we kind of just go with the flow, baby. Okay? So, on today's episode of Real Talk with Tay TV Shows Edition, we're going to jump into, I guess you can say it's a piggyback off of last week's episode, because last week's episode we talked about Zatima, and we talked about Fatima from Zatima. But in this case, we're going to talk about the show as an overall. Or not necessarily overall. We're going to talk about season 4, part A as an overall. If you don't know, season 4, part A has went on a mid-season finale. So to anyone who does not have BET Plus and you haven't seen this far, I'm sorry, because this whole thing is going to be a spoiler, an entire spoiler. Okay. So let's jump right into it, shall we? We ain't gonna waste no time. We ain't gonna do no glitz and glamour because I ain't got a lot to really tell y'all today. Besides, if you don't know, go check out Which Old Ass Podcast. That's my second channel. I think it's also a suggested channel on this channel. If not, I'll make it one so you guys can go find it, easy access, and don't have to go hunting for it if you don't want. But it's also usually in the description sometimes to let you guys know that that is my channel as well. No one's cloning me. But yeah, let's jump right into it. So today, once again, we're going to talk about Zatima season 4, part A. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because we had already talked about Fatima, right? So let's just kind of talk about season 4 as a whole. Because if you guys don't remember, in the episode about Zatima, which was just last week's episode, I had mentioned that we were just getting started in season 4. So I wanted to see how much Fatima had grown when it came to being real with Zac about things that's going on in life. And they, oh, by the way, make sure you guys grab your blankets because we're chilling today. Okay, we're chilling. I ain't getting dressed up. I'm in my house. I'm not getting dressed up. Now, if I have a studio I have to go to, then I'll get dressed up. Other than that, blankets. So anyway, so yeah, just wanted to see where her growth was with telling Zac the truth, not leaving Zac in the dark, not making him feel like his feelings don't matter. And she still don't get it. And some people will argue with me, but Fatima still does not get it. Because as the rest of this season has progressed, like I said, we're only on part A, so part B is coming back soon. But she still doesn't get it. She still was hiding the fact that Leslie was stalking them. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, my sinuses want to act up while I'm trying to shoot this. It's irritating. She still wants to hide the fact that Leslie is stalking them. She still thinks that it's okay that she's stressing herself and the baby out. She just feel like it's best to put Zac's emotions ahead of her and the baby's because she don't want to see him go to prison for snapping. And I get it, but at the same time, I don't see Zac snapping on a woman. I'm just sorry. I have yet to see him lash out on a woman. Now, if it would have been Malachi doing it, then yeah, Zac would have been like, I'm not gonna beat this dude up one time for the one time. But it's not Malachi. It's Leslie. Speaking of Leslie, she's crazy. Fake baby bump, faking like she's pregnant by Malachi, pretending like Fatima's life is hers, stuck a camera in their goddamn room, and I don't know how they haven't checked their house knowing that she's been in there. Like, they both know now. Like, they at first, Fatima knew that she had been stopping by the house and stuff like that. She did not know that Leslie had broke in the house when Angela was there after that whole debacle of um Fatima getting shot at by some gangster dude that was trying to kill Jeremiah. Like, they didn't know about that until Angela told Fatima. Then Fatima finally knew, but she still didn't tell Zac. And so it's, to me, it's like this woman's popping up everywhere you are. She's wearing the same stuff you're wearing. She's wearing her hair like yours. You don't think she has a camera somewhere in your house for her to know exactly what to go put on that same day as you? Come on. Like, y'all smart. Y'all not stupid. Y'all smart. So for me, I don't know how y'all didn't think to check your house or have your house checked for bugs, checked for cameras and stuff like that. Like, she put the camera somewhere that I'm be honest with you, I know it's every little thing about my house. When something's off and something's missing, I could tell instantly. I know something's off. You could ask my niece and nephews. They'd be like, this woman knows way too much about this house. And I don't get how they couldn't tell that there was a camera in there. Like, y'all just that blind. Like, the camera she put in there, and the reason why you could tell where the camera is because it's a scene where Zac and Fatima were getting intimate, and they panned over to where the camera was, and it's literally at an angle to where there's no way you can't see it. There's no way you can't see it. But I digress. So they're oh, Deja. Deja is I've always liked Deja's character. Maybe not the stuff that she's done, but I definitely always liked her character. I just didn't appreciate her pushing up on Zac, knowing Zac was trying to be a faithful and committed man and was being a faithful and committed man and still is being one. I just didn't like that part about Deja. But other than that, I love Deja. Her character is hilarious. And you know what? They're right. There's no one else that could play that character like she did. Because she's playing the hell out of that character. She's too funny. I love her for that character. That character fits her. When she caught Leslie outside their house and trying to steal their food, girl, she tried to go to work on Leslie. But Fatima said that Deja kicked Leslie's ass. And I'm like, oh, maybe because we didn't get to see the full fight. So I don't know if Deja really was kicking Leslie ass at first, and then when it panned back over, Leslie got the best of her. I don't know, because we didn't get to see the full fight at all. So maybe she did was beating her up at first, and then Leslie got the best of her and got away. But there's that. Um, Also piggybacking off of fighting and stuff, Zac and Bryce. Okay, Zac and Bryce are supposed to be cool now. Now, if you don't know, so episode 1 was a pickup from the end of season 3, episode 22, I think is what it was. And then right after episode 1, episode 2 from season 4 popped straight into 4 months later. Like, so Fatima's at least 6 months, 7 months pregnant at this point in the show. So Bryce Preston and Zac are all in business together, right? Well, one thing that I don't like, and it's kind of aggravating me about Preston and about Bryce, is they're trying to force Zac to choose his career over his family instead of allowing that man to do both. So they got an attitude with Zac because Zac's trying to plan the baby shower. Now, don't get me wrong, he still has a job to do. So I'm not saying that they're 100% wrong for saying, hey, Zac, you need to be able to, do both. But the problem I have is they're trying to make him feel guilty for wanting to be an active father and an active husband. They're not married yet, but I'm gonna call him her husband because that's what he calls himself. But they're trying to make him feel guilty for wanting to be an active father, an active husband, and I feel like that's wrong. Y'all know she's pregnant, so y'all know every little thing that happens, he's going to panic. Especially, and this is another spoiler alert for people who haven't watched Sistas. If you don't know, so Zac has a son named Michael. Well, has a son named Michael, because I'm not even sure if that's really his son. But he also was going to have a child with his ex-girlfriend, Karen, who was carrying twins. One was Zac's, one was Aaron's. Well, Zac's child died in season 9 of Sistas. Zac's child dies. And I think everyone's being insensitive to Zac. I really do. I feel like everyone's being so insensitive to Zac because How do y'all think that this is okay to sit here and act like this man has no right to feel how he feels about the pregnancy when he lost a child? He lost a child. His baby is gone. And I think Fatima, Angela, Bryce, Preston, I think they're all being very insensitive to Zac because he lost a child. Hell, his mama died. You know? So it's like, and then he's battling custody for Michael, a child that might not even really be his, you know? And it's like everybody's just being so insensitive to Zac's feelings. And I don't like that. I think that's wrong. And this is where black men's feelings get pushed to the side. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand what Fatima is doing. I do. I get it. But when Zac found out, she seen how he reacted. Soon as she had got okay, so Fatima ended up um bleeding at work. She spotted. You know, she ended up having some spotting, which is normal during a pregnancy. A lot of women spot. They panic when it happens, but a lot of women spot. A lot of times it's either old blood that hadn't came out during your last cycle, or is you're stressing yourself out, so you might hemorrhage a tad bit, or not hemorrhage at all. You could have hemorrhoids. Um you could just bleed. I mean, the body does what it wants to do, you know. So it's not 100% non-normal for that to happen during a pregnancy. So she was bleeding. They called Zac. Zac pulled up. Angela decided to go ahead and tell Zac about Leslie because Fatima wasn't going to. And I'm proud of Angela for stepping up and standing in and saying, hey, this time he needs to know. All that sugarcoating and hiding from him, not going to help because you're putting yourself and that baby at risk. Not going to do it. So Zac found out. And when he found out, he said, listen, I'm not fighting nobody. I'm not arguing with nobody. I'm not doing nothing. I'm going to get you a bodyguard. Point blank in the period. And I'm with Zac on that. If you're not going to want me to do nothing, then I'm going to hire somebody who will, who can, legally. At the end of the day, Zac doing what he got to do to protect his wife and his child. Point blank in the period. But what I don't understand about Fatima is law. You have proof that this woman has been stalking you because you're not going to tell me. And I don't know why they don't. But you're not gonna tell me you don't have proof that she's been popping up at your job. You don't have proof that she's just following you. Like there's some way in form you gotta have some type of proof that this heifer's been following you. Okay? And then two, she's following you. Why not put a camera on your house? Why not convince Zac to put cameras on both Deja's house and your house? So that way it don't look suspicious. You could just say that you just want to keep the house extra safe. And another thing I want to talk about too, real quick, just about the house. So I noticed that on Zac's house, there's a side door. I'd never seen that before. There was never a side door on that house. And I've seen this show 1,001 times. I swear I've never seen a side door on that house ever until like the last episode of season 4, part A. I was like, is that a side door? What the hell is a side door doing there? But that's neither here nor there. But anyway, where was I at? But back to Bryce and Preston. So Bryce and Preston basically tell Zac the reason why they chose to be in relationships and have kids and get married is because the business that they're in takes them away from their family. Now, let me break this down to you in case you don't watch the show. Zac, Preston, and Bryce are in the real estate business. Okay? So they buy and sell property all the time. That's what they do. Buy and sell property, buy property, rent property. They do all kind of stuff. They in a multi-million-dollar business, basically. And I'm gonna keep it real. The shit that they claim they need Zac for, it could easily be done with just conferencing him in on a call, conferencing him in on a FaceTime. Y'all make it seem like that man has to be there 24/7 for this stuff, and he does not. I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong, he does need to show his face to people so they know who they're dealing with, get to shake his hand and blah blah blah. But to sit there and act like Zac's just doing the ultimate worst because he missed one meeting, well technically he missed two because he missed a meeting with the inspector, but at the same time, y'all weren't in person with this person. Y'all over the phone. And he had an emergency. So the thing is, Preston and Bryce are throwing themselves into their work because they can't make their relationship life work. Because let's keep it a buck. If Preston could have made it work with Danny, he'd still be with Danny. And if Bryce could have made it work with Angela, he would have still been with Angela. And they still would have had girlfriends. They still would have had relationships. So what Zac said to Bryce was true. The reason why you don't have a relationship and you're not married, don't have no kids, is because Angela don't want your ass. Point blank in a period. And that was facts. He was mean for saying it, but he was right for saying it at the same time. Because who are you to try to chastise me about being a good man to my soon-to-be wife and my child, my unborn child at that? And y'all all know I lost my child with my ex-girlfriend. So miss me with the bullshit. But but with Preston, Preston was trying to play devil's advocate because he was like, he do understand where Zac's coming from, would want to be an active father and an active husband, but he still needs to be able to balance his work life. Now, what Preston said was kind of true, but at the same time, Preston was trying to play both ends against the middle because he didn't want to make Bryce look 100% wrong and he didn't want to make Zac look 100% wrong. He would just take a stance because you feel the same way Bryce do. You feel like Zac should be all in on the business and 25% in on his family, and that's not how that works. At the end of the day, a lot of what they were upset with Zac about was just very immature to me. And then let's talk about Angela real quick because I love me some Angela. However, Angela is putting her life at risk right now. Angela's taking some type of medication that's for people with diabetes. I think it's Fenatril is what they called it on the show, but low key, we know what it's supposed to be. I'm not gonna say what they trying to make fun of because I don't want to put them in no position with no companies where they trying to sue them and shit. Um, but she's taking this stuff called Fenatril, and she's not following the instructions with Fenatril. Fenatril says to don't take on an empty stomach, clean the area that you're going to use, and consult your doctor before using Fenatril. She didn't do none of that. She's just been popping this Fenatril, trying to make her lose weight, and Angela has a lot of low self-esteem. She's a beautiful girl, has a lot of low self-esteem because she's insecure about her weight. And she feels like men who date her aren't really dating her in public, they're dating her in private. So when Sean wanted to, sorry, my nose is itching like a mug. I'm trying to scratch it. Um, but when Sean wanted to take her out on a real date out in public, um, which it kind of was technically private because he shut down a restaurant for her when he took her on a date. Um, and he cooked the dinner for her and everything else. Like he did it all. Because he's a private chef. Um, she was shocked, right? And she couldn't really take the good because she was too busy thinking that Sean was faking about wanting to be with just her because she felt like she's not worthy or deserving of a man. Granted, she literally was just in a private, exclusive relationship with Bryce, right? And when she found out Bryce was bisexual, that was the end for her. She couldn't do it. So now you got Angela who's feeling like I can't even get a straight man at all. Like I just keep running into these weirdos or whatever, and I can't get a good man. So she's just using each man that she deals with for sex only. So Angela really she needs to just not date. She needs to not be with no man. She needs to just be with herself and love herself first. And I see that Sean's trying, but I think what Sean should do is he should, give her time to heal herself. And the reason why I say that is because if he tries to help her heal herself, he could potentially unravel his own healing. And or he might help her. Who knows? But honestly, Angela just needs to be single. She needs to be single. She needs to learn how to love herself because clearly she can't do it with having a man and dating a man. If she can do it while dating a man, then kudos, go ahead. But to me, Angela can't heal herself while dating. She's already shown and proven that she can't heal herself while dating. But like I said, maybe Sean can help her through it because he said he's seen himself in her. He see what she's doing because he's been there. But that's just me. And then another thing that kind of blew me was Bryce was telling Zac that Bryce's parents always ask him why he's not married. And Bryce says that he tells his parents, you know, he's chasing a career that takes him away from a family. And I want to be real honest with you. Real honest with you. I don't understand how real estate can take you away from your family. I don't understand how you can't make the appropriate time for your family. Reason being, and the reason why I say this is because, and I'm not in real estate, so I don't know how grimy it gets. But just like a regular 9 to 5, you always have time, right? So y'all usually know ahead of time when y'all working on a big deal, big case, big deal, closing stuff. So if you know how much time you have to get something closed and get something done, right? And there's no way, there's no way you're going to tell me, excuse me, my voice just keeps trying to go out. There's no way you're going to tell me that y'all consistently are working on a project every day, every week. That's not, damn, I forgot where I was at. I kind of forgot where I was at, unfortunately. Sorry, I had to take a 5-minute recess. My voice literally is trying to go out today, and it's kind of getting on my nerves a little bit. So I'm gonna take some Mucinex and a hot shower and see if I can loosen up this mucus that's stuck. It's killing me. It really is. This is why having allergies suck, bro, because you just don't know what your body's gonna put you through. Well, I forgot where I was at, so I'm just gonna pretty much. Oh, I was talking about Angela, I think, but I still didn't want to say it. Angela needs to learn how to love herself. Um, Fatima needs to learn how to trust Zac with his own anger. If he makes a dumb decision, she gotta understand that's not on her. And I get she don't want to raise their child alone, but at the same time, he has to be a man enough to make that decision that if something you tell him is worth potentially putting him behind bars, it is what it is. Because to be honest with you, you already seen what happened when you kept the secret about Jeremiah from him. He beat the dog shit out of Jeremiah because of you. And I'm gonna be real, it's because of her. At first, I understood where Fatima was coming from. I really did at first. But then the more I started thinking about it, I'm like, I know, you wrong. Because think of it like this. The night she went home, she and they all pulled up to try to tell Zac what happened, right? Fatima could have easily went in there with Zac while he was drinking his little yak by the tub. She could have got him in the tub. And she could have sat in that tub with Zac. And she could have told him, she could have said, babe, you're not gonna want to hear this, but I need to tell you something because I can't. If I keep it from you, it ain't gonna do nothing but make you explode even more. But you have to promise me that if you do decide to address it with Jeremiah, you try to address it with your mouth first instead of your hands. He gonna be mad. But if she would have told him, Jeremiah came to me about some money. We got to wrestling over my purse, and we wrestling, tussling, and we tussled so much that when he yanked, I hit my car and hit my head. Me and the baby are fine though. We're not hurt. Nothing's wrong. And I think he might have stole my watch. That's all I would have said. That's what I would have told Zac. And I would have told him, I understand that you would want to kick his ass, but I need you to understand that if you beat him up, they're going to arrest you. And if you get arrested and go to jail, I'm not getting you out. I'm not fighting no cases. I'm not doing none of that. I'm going to raise our child, and your ass is going to be behind bars. Point blank in a period. That's all I would have told Zac. Is you got a choice to make. I've told you the truth. You know what's going on. You know the same day it happened. But you have to make a choice. If you're going to talk to Dr. Reed about the incident, go ahead. Because honestly, her keeping that from Zac is what built up the bigger problem. Because when he finally found out, he was so motherfucking mad, nothing nobody could do to stop him because he was already mad. This had happened 3 or 4 days ago, and nobody had the fucking courtesy to tell me my brother did something that I could have addressed while he was sober. Then to make matters worse, the motherfucker shoots at him. He shoots at him. So Jeremiah had it coming. I don't blame Zac for beating Jeremiah ass because Jeremiah had it coming. First, you put your hands on my soon-to-be wife who's pregnant, and you know she's pregnant, and you fling her into a car over some money. And then when I go upstairs to try to have a conversation with you, because Zac wasn't going to beat on Jeremiah. If you paid attention to his demeanor when he got ready to go upstairs, he wasn't going up there to go put hands on Jeremiah. He was actually going to go up there and talk to Jeremiah. And if Jeremiah would have got sideways, then he would have beat Jeremiah's ass. But see, Jeremiah was already scared, so he started pow, 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 pow. So that made it even worse. But that's why I say that she should have learned her lesson. I know he told her if something like that ever happened again to keep it from him, but this is a different scenario. This is a woman who's stalking you, following you around. And my whole thing is get a restraining order. Get cameras up around the house to catch her ass at your house, a ring doorbell, spot cameras, spotlight cameras to, and don't even have the lights turn on. Just cameras that can pick up and see her face. That lets her get close enough to where when she walks up, bing, then the light comes on and catches her face. And then take it to the judges and get a restraining order against her. Because here's what happens. I have a restraining order against you. You pull up to my house. If I shoot you, because I'm pregnant, so I can't fight you. So if I shoot you, I'm with all in rights. I have a restraining order against you. And all I gotta do is call the police, have you arrested. But here's where Zac where Zac and Fatima's about to mess up at. Y'all know it's Leslie stalking y'all. Why not call Malachi and tell him that his wife is stalking y'all? That's what I would do. I would call Malachi and be like, hey, your wife is stalking us. We need you to put an end to that now. Your FBI, put a stop to it. But see, the way they ended season 4, part A, the mid season finale, a couple things that I did really resonated with me, and I'm gonna close out the show here soon. One, Nate. I'm proud of Nate, but also disappointed in Nate. I'm proud of Nate for finally speaking up and telling the truth and telling his truth and being a man about it. But I'm disappointed in Nate because you dragged your wife through hell and now you want to try to divorce her instead of trying to heal with her. I don't appreciate that. I think that's wrong of Nate. That's 100% wrong. You should try to fix your marriage, and if it's not fixable because something hasn't been working because you've been doing dog ass shit. That's why it hasn't been working. And yes, she's been doing wrong too, been beating you with baseball bats. I'm not saying she hasn't been doing anything wrong either, but a lot of stuff you've done is what caused her to react that way. And she still should be in control of her own emotions, but at the same time, come on now. I just think it was wrong of Nate to ask for a divorce. If anything, what I would have told her is, I think we need to stay separated, but because I need to work on myself and see if I can come back and be a better husband and a better man for you. Because I do really love you, but I need to figure out if I can do right by you. And if I can't, then yeah, we need to get a divorce. But instead, you instantly like, I ain't doing right. We need to get a divorce so I can go be a hoe. Because as soon as he told Lori that, he instantly telling Zac we need to get the strippers for my bachelor party. What? Like, come on, bro. And then Connie. Connie is still keeping her cancer a secret from everybody. Only one who knows is Tony. And Tony got his own demons. Tony didn't kill somebody. Having a hard time struggling with, the fact that he killed this boy, and he's taking care of this boy's mama now because he didn't took him away from her. So he's trying to take care of her too. And it's stressing him out. And instead of Tony going to seek therapy, about the incident, instead, he doesn't have to tell the therapist that he actually killed him. He can just say he defended himself. But he's struggling with it. I don't know, man. Tony's situation is weird. But back to Connie. So Connie's been dealing with cancer. and she's been keeping it a secret. Connie also is getting ready to lose her kids because one of her kids set a fire to the apartment and ran out of the apartment and left Connie in there sleep. Because that's the only way I could think of that the fire had started. It would have had to start with one of her kids playing in that kitchen and they set something afire. And the Child Protective Service people are already watching Connie. Before that fire took place at Connie's house, they were already watching Connie. They already were plotting on, taking her kids. She's, her social workers and them, they all were already plotting on taking her kids from her. And it's crazy because I feel like the system sets you up because you put me in this hellhole of apartment complex and expect my kids and myself to be okay when we live in the slums. We live in the hood. We live where crackheads and meth heads and everybody else is walking around here. And that's the thing about the state when it comes to black folks. When y'all want to find us housing, y'all find us housing in the hood. And then expect our kids to be safe and okay in the hood. Expect them not to get into trouble. Expect me not to get in trouble in the hood. And I don't want to hear that, because the nice neighborhoods don't do Section 8 because that's cap. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. All of them do. But the season 4 at part A, that's my overall take about the whole season 4 part A. I just feel like everybody is just only one who's trying to cater to everyone is Zac in this season so far. Zac is the only one who's trying to cater for everyone. He's doing what Fatima was doing. Fatima was trying to cater to everybody. And well, not everybody. Almost everybody. And Zac is now in a position where he's trying to cater to his pregnant wife, his work life, his friends, his responsibilities, his safety of his family. He's trying to cater to it all. And at the same time, he's not being given grace. He's not being given understanding. The way that everybody is taking an emotional toll on each other in this season is killing me. Everyone's taking such an emotional roller coaster on each other, and I hate it. Because this is one thing about black folks that I wish we would stop doing. Like, I guess you could say it triggered me a little bit. It did. Because they all taking emotional roller coasters on each other, and I hate it. I do. I don't understand why we're not being honest. I don't understand why we're not opening up and telling the truth. It's not that hard. You know? But I'm gonna end it right there. If you want to hear me talk more about specific episodes of Zatima, leave it in the comments. Tell me what episode you want me to talk about in particular, or episodes. If you have any new shows that you're watching or anything that you're watching that you want me to take a peek at, if I can find it, I will. Mr. Bellamy, if you see this episode, I do want to let you know I could not find Family Matters anywhere for some reason. Like everywhere I've looked, so let me clarify. I do not have cable. I have apps. And I could not find Family Matters anywhere to where I could watch it. If you know of some places where either it's free or because all the places I found, they want me to pay like $4 just to rent it. I'm not paying $4 to rent anything. And then if you want to buy the season, it's like $30. I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. Not right now. I'm not making money off of this stuff right now. So I'm not blowing a bunch of money on stuff that I'm not making money off of. But if you know of any TV shows, or anything in particular that you guys watched and it doesn't have to be old school stuff. It could be new stuff, new shows. I'm down for it. I'm on Netflix, and actually next week's episode, y'all gonna probably like that one, depending on if you've seen this show or not. But until next time, in the meantime, I have been your host, Tay Nicole. and this is Real Talk with Tay Nicole TV Shows Edition. And we have just did a full season 4 part A recap review of Zatima. Make sure you guys leave me a like, a comment, and share. And as always, be blessed.